We have a sequel. This is our first one tonight. From Ascension, we got some more, no, there's no other way around it. We got some more butt stuff for you guys. This is going to be bad. The first story he said he picked out personally for Pop.
Oh, no.
Number 1, my friend is a nurse. She told me about a guy who came into the ER. He claimed to have fallen out of a tree and a branch went right up his ass. They x-rayed him, and he had this perfectly round wooden rod up there. They removed it. They saw that it was sanded, painted, and primed. That branch must have come from a genetically modified species of tree.
Yeah, and listen, I have actually pulled a dude down who had injury to his anus.
Oh, I remember that story.
In an airborne operation.
This is bad, right? This is bad.
They had to cut his ass down with a chainsaw.
Ugh. Oh, the vibrations up in there with that going on. Oh, I shudder at the thought.
I don't know. All I know
Disgusting.
is that was a lot of stitches in a very bad place.
Ugh. Can you imagine getting stitches in your ass? Ah,
Well, those guys who get hemorrhoid surgery.
not even just your ass, your anus. It's quite sensitive. Very sensitive.
Well, I mean, that part was hit and it went through his thigh. I mean, there was a lot of soft tissue damage.
That was, sounds like a red letter day for everybody involved.
Yep.
Disgusting. Number 2, trying to reduce prolapsed hemorrhoids he developed after a long, arduous poop, doctor term. Mm-hmm. I wondered how a vegetable peeler was the most available object to be had in the bathroom. The vegetable peeler became stuck, as these things tend to do. However, this was the kind with slits in the plastic, and his formerly prolapsed hemorrhoid tissue protruded into the slits, making it impossible to remove.
Oh, my God.
Also cutting off blood supply, which made them necrotic by the time we went to the OR. What kills me is that his next move to try to remove this object from his anus was to try to cut it out with scissors.
What?
Oh, it was horrible. A jagged piece of plastic wedged in his ass, and his attempts to get it out, horrifying and indeed quite memorable. In case you couldn't tell, these are all ER stories sent in specifically by doctors, nurses, etc.
Yeah, that's bad. Now, I don't know. I've heard some ER stories, but nothing like that.
Yeah. Well, I got something stuck in my ass. I know what I'll do. I'll put a sharp object up there and try to cut it out.
Or the guy who walks up to the check-in counter with an arrow right through him, saying, "Yeah, this is bad, right?"
This is bad, right? Number 3. It wasn't an excuse, and it wasn't the butt, allegedly. A young lady in Riverside, Texas, very healthy meth presence, was dared to stick a live catfish in her vagine. She shoved it in head first. Those who know catfish know they have very sharp dorsal fins.
Most fish do.
Well, the dorsal fins lodged in the walls
and they ain't coming out
and became stuck. She came in the ER screaming in pain with a live catfish flopping all willy-nilly out of her private. I still wish I had a copy of that x-ray.
Oh, my God.
We all know that there's only one place where women like that come from.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop!
All right, let's get this straight here. All right, first of all, that had to be some alien kind of shit right there.
Oh.
Like something that shocking. Maybe if I was to see that would be similar to like the first Alien movie when the alien came out of the guy's stomach.
Yeah.
I was like 8 or 10 years old when I saw that.
Yeah, I know. Imagine a woman like this. She comes in like wearing a sundress. What's wrong? She lifts it up. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Number 4. Check, please. Had a patient who showed up with his soon-to-be ex-wife. They were reconciling at a nearby motel. Mm-hmm. She convinced him that if he loved her, he would let her put a dildo in his butt. Only it wasn't a dildo. It was her vibrator without a flared base.
Ooh.
Rule number 1 of anal play is making sure that it has a flared base. Rule number 2 is nothing is sharp. The whole thing went up there, and he couldn't get it out. Had to come out under anesthesia. She felt awful and was crying the whole time. He was a very blue-collar, normal dude, and she was dressed in very fancy clothes. An unlikely match made in heaven.
Yeah.
He was just happy that they were at my urban hospital and not the uppity town about 15 miles away from where they lived. I often wonder what became of them and their marriage.
Probably didn't survive.
Well, as soon as you agree to something like that, you kind of lose respect in her eyes.
I'm going to have to say yes. Yeah.
Saying,
Now listen,
2 penetrators in a relationship is 1 penetrator too many.
yeah, that's an out. That thing is an Audi only.
Disgusting. Ugh. And people wonder why they wind up in the hospital with prolapses and stuff like that. I mean, come on, you're abusing an out hole.
It's like it's very common for individuals and men who like other men.
Yeah. Yeah.
After a certain age, after they've been doing that long enough, from like 15 to 45,
Yeah.
it's not designed for that, and it starts to break down, and bad things happen.
Yeah. And they always wind up walking around looking like they got a miniaturized baboon ass between their butt cheeks.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
No.
I mean, by the time you get to 60 as a dude, it's wrecked just from taking dumps for that long. I'm serious.
Oh, Captain Skidmark. Number 5. My sister is a surgical nurse, and a guy came into the hospital with a pool noodle shoved up his butt. It was so deep that they had to cut open his abdomen, intestines, and colon to cut the foam out. He said he fell on it while swimming nude.
All right. Okay.
Anyways, we're not done yet. But when they cut him open, it had a prophylactic stretched over the end of it.
Oh, here we go.
When they confronted him, he said, "Please don't tell my wife." Woo!
Oh, my Lord.
You didn't expect this shit when you tuned in tonight, did you?
Oh, my God. This is great.
Number 6. Again, not an ass, but a vagine. I was doing my clinical rotation in 3rd year, did a cervical assessment on a 36-week pregnant woman who thought she was in labor. Painful cramping plus discharge.
Yeah, that discharge is...
That's just, it's like an antipasto.
No, fear the syrup.
Fear the syrup, ladies
syrup.
and germs. I found 8 cloves of garlic.
What?
She thought she could avoid Group B strep with it. She read it online. She thought they would dissolve.
No.
Wow.
No.
1, you can't avoid GBS like this. 2, they turn into slime mush bulbs. They don't dissolve. She was not in labor. She was responding to an infection, and a nasty one.
She's lucky she didn't lose that kid.
Yeah. She was admitted for fluids, object removal meds, and monitoring of the fetus for treatment overnight. I finished my 24-hour shift before the next OB wrapped up. Cramping stopped very soon after we got it all out. Last I saw her, she was just feeling sad and dumb. But I did feel bad for her. She was just trying to do the right thing for her pregnancy. I can understand that. But people, please, don't believe everything that you see online.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if it's written online and it's written by a woman, it must be true.
100%.
Number 7, last but not least. My brother was a triage nurse and examined someone that came in with a Barbie doll in their butt. Naturally.
1 in a million.
Looking for Ken.
Slipped and fell on it.
Don't know if they were male or female. There was, however, another guy who would come in often to my friend's ER for Barbie head removals. He had several Barbies he kept in his jacket, held in place by loopholes that he had sewn in. They always knew how many heads to look for by how many heads were missing from the Barbies in his coat.
That dude's obviously got a mental illness. Okay. That's weird.
Woo! 2 in the stunning, 1 in the brave.
That is weird.
Oh. nasty. Absolutely nasty. Wow.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.